Speaking of awards, who's MVP so far?
Right now, the MVP of the league, right now, the Jazz have the best record, but Joel Embiid's been the best player in the league this year. Last night's dominant. It was 40-19 that he put up on Gobert last night. He's cut down the three-pointers. He still shoots them, but he doesn't shoot as much of them. He's damaging people in the post like we've all wanted him to. He's playing with a focus. His defensive intensity's there, and the Sixers are winning. So he's my MVP right now.
It's funny because we've heard so many names in the last 2 months alone. LeBron. Then you have Durant for a while when he was healthy. Then he gets hurt, of course. Embiid, of course. All of a sudden, I'm hearing James Harden. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but he seems revigorated in Brooklyn. I'll tell you that.
Nikola Jokic in Denver. You've heard, there are a lot of names out there, but Steph Curry at one point was talked about being MVP because the Warriors was in that 4 or 5 range. No Klay Thompson. When your second best player is Andrew Wiggins or Kelly Oubre, you get some kind of credit for that.
I'm with, but the thing is though, this is why I agree with you on Embiid. All those players you mentioned, the difference is that Embiid and his team is winning in the standings. To me, the equalizer has always been the winning. If your team is 1, 2, 3 seed or overachieved, that seems to help the MVP case. Harden in Brooklyn doing great is not a surprise. He has Durant, he has Kyrie. LeBron is LeBron. He's the Lakers, all that. They're champs. Embiid is, Philly's a playoff team. We knew that, but Philly is overachieving what we all thought they'd be before they started. And Embiid is doing equal with Embiid's production, so it makes sense. I agree with you.
I think the one thing that I question about Philadelphia wasn't the regular season is that when we get to May and June, where it counts for real, will the Sixers get themselves at their pet peeve, which is the second round? They've never been to the conference finals with Simmons or Embiid together. And that's why I wonder, can Doc do it? Because, Doc doesn't know what the conference finals is like either because he had been there since, the Celtics? And that was over a decade ago.